Good, happy Sunday afternoon. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Politics. Let's get started. Buckley hires former Sanders, New Hampshire campaign director to key National Democratic Party post. Julia Burns, a veteran Democratic activist who was the New Hampshire director and national field director of Senator Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign, has been tapped by state Democratic Party chairman Raymond Buckley for a key National Party staff post. Buckley told the Riley King Network on Sunday that Bernie's will begin on Monday as the executive director of Association of State Democratic Chairs, a group affiliated with the Democratic National Committee that includes the state party chairs and vice chairs of all 50 states. American Samoa, the director of Columbia, Democrats Ardara Guma, Puerto Rico, and the Northern Mariana Islands, and the U.S. Virginia Islands. Sanders to appear with Clinton at Portsmouth High School on Tuesday. Bernie Sanders plans to appear with Hillary Clinton on Tuesday at Portsmouth High School. The Riley King Network has confirmed from two sources with direct knowledge of the plan. An endorsement of Clinton by Sanders is expected at the event, ending a long, intense, and at times bitter battle for the Democratic presidential nominee. Humphrey steps up fight to depose Trump at GOP convention. With one notable expectation, there appears to be little apparent among New Hampshire delegates to open the Republican National Convention to consider an alternative to prospective nominee Donald Trump. GOP candidates give thoughts as New Hampshire primary under threat. Members of the Republican National Rules Committee will meet in Cleveland next week to discuss several items, including the primary selection process. One proposal expected to be considered is pairing the early contest states with another state in close proximity. For example, New Hampshire could share the primary with Massachusetts. A major voice could be from the candidates who have taken part in New Hampshire's primary process. Hear what many candidates have to say about it. Let's take a listen to the video right now from WMUR News 9.
There are voices in Washington that are arguing for getting rid of New Hampshire's first-in-the-nation status. I think that is absolute lunacy. The great virtue of New Hampshire, you can't win the state of New Hampshire just by dumping money on it.
New Hampshire has a storied place in American politics. It's the start, in many ways, of Iowa and New Hampshire. This is where you're tested.
The political establishment has wanted to winnow the field as quickly as possible. That's not in voters' interest. The media establishment has wanted to put on a good show. That's not in the voters' interest. And all of that is about, let's be clear, all of that is about taking power out of the hands of the voters of New Hampshire, or the voters of Iowa, or the voters of South Carolina. And that's not the way this country is supposed to work. Let's keep power in the hands of the voters of New Hampshire, because guess what? People here take this responsibility very seriously. It is New Hampshireites' job to vet candidates and winnow the field, nobody else's.
You cannot elect someone to the most important political office in the world if they have not detailed for you exactly not just what they're going to do, but how they're going to do it. And if there's any state in the country that I think holds an important role in examining and fleshing that out from the candidates, it's of course Iowa with the caucuses and New Hampshire with the first in the nation primary.
I think it's a precious way to have a formula for selecting a president. You just can't do it in 30-second sound bites at town halls. You got an hour up there, and you got to answer questions. And you got to speak to the folks.
The Republican National Committee, I think, has made a mistake. There is no use looking back, but we do need to look forward. If this continues, the election cycles of the future, it's going to be very difficult for South Carolina, Iowa, and New Hampshire to stand out, because the way you become heard is not going to house parties and town halls, is whatever you need to say or do to get national polling up. New Hampshire is an antidote to big money. This is the last place where you can break through without having to be incredibly rich. This is the last place, along with Iowa and South Carolina, where you have a chance to get to know the person who wants to be the President of the United States. This is the last place where you're expected to answer not one question, but many.
If I win, there is zero chance that they're moving New Hampshire. It's going to remain where it is.
Okay, and there you have it in that video. Christie builds his case for Trump's VP. Chris Christie has said it over and over. He can't imagine being vice president. His personality just isn't cut for the role. Giuliani, black parents should teach children to be respectful of the police. In order to solve the issue of racial bias in policing, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani said Sunday the United States need to look differently at race if we're going to change it. Mexico's president, no way we'd pay for a wall. Mexico President Juan Peña Nieto said he will work with whoever is elected president of the United States in November, but he wants to make one thing clear. Mexico will not be paying for a wall. Fallen, Trump trying to campaign as a racial healer. Donald Trump has tried to campaign as someone who can bridge racial divides, Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin said Sunday. Lieutenant Jen Flynn, U.S. won't collapse because of same-sex marriage, abortion. Issues like abortion and same-sex marriage are not at the top of retired Lieutenant Jen Michael Flynn's list of priorities. The former intelligence official and registered Democratic who is reportedly being vetted as Donald Trump's running mate said Sunday. Scenarios, I haven't pushed Trump to have a general as VP. When it comes to Donald Trump thinking about his running mate, Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions says he has not advocated for the prospective Republican nominee to have a military general on the ticket. Dallas police chief on robot bomb. I'd do it again. Dallas police chief David Brown on Sunday sharply defended his department's decision to send in a robot rigged with C4 explosives to end the standoff between Officer and Michael Johnson, the man believed to have killed 5 police officers last Thursday night. Perez, Clinton has to earn back trust. Hillary Clinton has some work to do when it comes to earning the trust of the American people, Labor Secretary Tom Perez said Sunday as he defended the former Secretary of State. FBI Director James Comey hearing before a House panel Thursday really illustrated exactly which is there was no criminal wrongdoing on Secretary Clinton's part, Perez told Fox News Sunday. Dallas police chief suspect had other plans. The man believed to have shot a dozen police officers and killing 5 last Thursday night in Dallas had designed on much larger and bordered attacks, the city police chief said Sunday. And that does it for politics right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon. Goodbye, everyone.